What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz, the number one stock trading Discord and small business directory at trysmallbiz.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about why you need to get the hell away from the Debbie Downer bullshit that you see on the fake news, because I'm here to tell you once again that the stock and crypto market, once we get through the Fed and the meeting with President Xi, is going a hell of a lot higher. All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been what? Almost 2 weeks. God bless each and every one of you. By the way, I hate to say this, and it's pinned in the top comment. 39-0. Another dozen wins since you've seen me. We're still waiting for our first loss. Now, we've got a stock. It was up 30% this morning in the pre-market, and then whoop, on dilution, currently down 13.2%. So is that going to be the first time in 2.5 going on 3 months that I take a fucking loss? Save 50% your first month. The second is free. Pinned in the top comment, do not let 59, because I'm here to tell you right now, 300 wins, only 19 losses in going on 26 months. In other words, you could have 15x'd your money in the last 2 years, almost 7x'd it in the last 12 months. And the last time I checked, that's not only better than the great Warren Buffett, but the top 10 hedge funds in the entire fucking world. It's literally less than $3 a day. It's a half a cup of coffee at your local Starbucks. I'll make you rich. Not overnight. There's no such thing. But in the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, until we have the crash of a lifetime, in 2035, I can make you and your family more money than you ever dreamed possible. But in the meantime, get the hell away from the Peter Schiffs, who's been preaching doom and fucking gloom for 20 years. He's just recently finally got it right with the melt up in metals, which may have put in a short-term top last week. And how about Harry Dent? He hasn't been right since the dot-com bubble burst in 2000. You know what the racket for those guys is? They align with a sponsor, usually gold and silver. And then they spend months and years and fucking decades preaching doom and gloom, because after all, if they get you scared to death, what are you going to do? You're going to put all your money in fucking gold and silver. And if you didn't take some of it off the table recently when silver was pushing 53, personally, I think you made a mistake. If you get lucky enough to get another push up towards those levels, take a little bit off, a quarter, maybe a third. But that's the racket. They align with a doom and gloom sponsor, and they come up with new reasons. Oh, housing's going to crash. Oh, the debt. We're going to have 60 trillion this, that, and the other. They've been wrong for the most part for the better part of 20 or 30 years since I was a broker in the fucking stock market. 1993 to 2007, I made all the mistakes, including going bankrupt in 2008, so you don't have to. Show me somebody else anywhere in the world that's 319 in the last 26 months for 15x plus returns. 10 grand's worth 150 G's. And there's people that you know that have made over $1 million and can't even pay their fucking taxes right now by following my advice. We index 2/3 of the portfolio. SPY, we bought that as low as 490 during the fake trade war bear market lows, 400 on the Qs, last trade 612. 169, we grabbed some on the IWM, got up and over 250 last week. You do not take above average risk when you're dealing with me. Why? Because 2/3 of the portfolio is going to only be up or down 1%, maybe 2% in a bad day. And we fuck around and find out with a third. And when you've got 300 wins against 19 losses in a massive secular bull market that we buy the dip of every single fucking year, you and me are going to get filthy fucking rich, but only if you take advantage in the pinned comment below. All right. What do we have to be aware of in the next few weeks? Well, first of all, we've got a rate cut coming on October 29th. It's a guaranteed 100% lock. So is December. In fact, the new Fed governor that just came in, potential replacement for Powell in May of next year, says we need to go 50. And I just shared inside the Discord Mike Wilson of Morgan Stanley, who missed the lows of 2022, and he finally admitted it after the NASDAQ almost doubled, had a great video out today. If you're in the Discord, watch it. If you're about to be, make sure you grab that before the night is over. And he's correct. The Fed is still behind the curve. They need to cut 150 basis points based on inflation and the deteriorating labor market. However, because we just had 3.8% GDP, we're tracking at 3.3 for the current quarter, and we haven't really even seen the productivity gains, which will kick in next year as a result of AI. The economy's going to be humming along. In fact, corporate profits are about to go to a whole new fucking level, a record of which they set last week. Look at GM today. Look at Apple yesterday. You got to get away from these people. And you may have neighbors, family members telling you, don't listen to that fucking guy who used to have a long beard but shortened it because he felt like a fat, lazy pig heading into the holidays. Don't listen to him. He's a fucking shyster. He's a con man. He's a car salesman. I've heard it all. But you know what else I've heard? I've got 243 people inside that fucking Discord that trust me with their fucking lives. At least most of them do. Because I'm consistently, time and time again, right on the nose. I've been doing this over 30 years. I've made all the mistakes, and with more than 10,000 trades booked early on, most of them losses, I know how this fucking game is played. Do not listen to people that can't even rub two fucking nickels together, or they do by way of making millions of dollars by selling fear in these fucking newsletters that would have most people convinced I might want to jump out the fucking window. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This is the greatest secular bull market in human history. Flying cars and trips to fucking Mars. Since I started saying that in 2017, the NASDAQ's up 500%. It's going to be up another 5, 6, 700% in the next 10 years until we get a secular rollover. Just like 2000 when the boomers retired and the dot-com bubble burst and the NASDAQ dropped by 89%, the same thing's going to happen 10 years from now when the millennials and Gen Z retire with arguably $60 trillion of debt, a bankrupt Social Security system, a declining birth rate, and a malicious AI that's put a third of human capital out of fucking work. But until then, you're going to witness the greatest fucking melt-up in human history. Every correction, 11.4% on average each year, needs to be bought. If we get a glitch, as I called it this morning, around the 1929 100-year anniversary when Trump says, I'll see you later, and hands over the keys to Vance Rubio, and yeah, that is the winning ticket for the next 8 years, we may come back down, but that's not going to be the low. It'll be just like 95, and then you're going to see up, and up, and when you don't want to sell, I'm going to be ringing the bell 10 years from now saying it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge. We're going to start selling 10% lots of all these ETFs that we bought. We're going to use some of that money to buy the inverse ETFs. Yes! This guy right here knows what the fuck he's talking about. Stop wasting time. Stop listening to people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and click that link below. And until next time, always remember that I love you. I really do. And thank you so very much for watching.